Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Dylan Talk Sports. My name is Dylan. In this video, what I'm going to be doing is I'm an Ohio State fan. And what I'm going to be doing is in about 24 hours at the time I record this, Ohio State and Michigan are going to be playing. And this is going to be the ultimate deciding factor for a lot of things when it comes to the Big Ten, the college football playoff, who goes in, who does not. There's a lot on the table. And for me as an Ohio State fan, we have lost the last 2 years in a row. What I want to do in this video is kind of go over all the things that if Ohio State does these things right, they can win this game. If they don't do these things or some things, there's going to be a couple things that if they do this thing wrong or they start doing these things here, exhibit A, B, and C, they are going to lose. I have a couple of points we're going to hit on, so without further ado, I'm going to stop talking. We're going to get right into this. As always, if you're going to enjoy this video, make sure you drop a like. It's very much appreciated if you do so. And without further ado, let's get into it. Now, starting off with the very first thing, Joel Klatt, the commentator that's going to be the kind of color commentator for the game of Michigan versus Ohio State, he works for Fox Sports and he kind of talks about these games all the time. And he's been talking about this game of things that if Michigan does these things right, they'll win. If Ohio State does these things right, they'll win. For some of the things they talk about with Ohio State is, one thing that I want to talk about is the fact that Ohio State has not allowed big plays this season. I believe he said in the entire season, they have not allowed not one play of 40 yards or more the entire year, which is huge because if you think back to last year's game, Ohio State kept that game close. When did they not keep it close? Late in the game when Michigan was able to hit the big 40-yard pass, I think to their tight end on a 4th and 1. It was like a 40-yard bomb, went down the field, got a touchdown. Later on in the game, it was like 35 or 38, I believe, 23. And Donovan Edwards just hit a little inside zone, safety missed a tackle, and he was gone for like 65 yards, touchdown. Ohio State in the offseason, they made an adjustment to where at times something they like to do is a zero blitz. As you know, zero blitz, when it basically leaves an offense down to it's either got to be a quick slant or a go ball. It can't be anything else. With that kind of play, the defense knows that, so they know if they're going to get pressure, there's going to be one man free. You got to hit your guy. Whether it's a handoff to the running back or it's going to be a quarterback holding the ball, whoever's the free rusher, you have to get home. So far this year, when Ohio State does call the zero blitz, they've been able to get home. But something they did bad with last year's, with zero blitz, obviously the name entails, zero coverage, no safety. They've been showing zero blitz, they send zero blitz, but then they also still take that free rusher and they linger them back to be a back safety to eliminate the bad play or eliminate the deep throws, the long runs, basically to where if they're going to get a first down, they're going to get a 10-yard chunk, 20-yard chunk, that's fine, but we can hold them to that. It kind of goes back to what I've been saying a lot this year about their bend but don't break defense. They're going to let you, if we can make a team go 10, 15 plays, go down and get a touchdown, I'd rather see that than a just quick handoff to Blake Corum and he goes 75 yards of the house. I would much rather see a 15-play, 7-minute drive than a 1-play, 20-second run. So to kind of wrap up the first point, if Ohio State can keep Michigan's plays in front of them, make them play the long game, keep it a slow game, I would say if we can hold Michigan under 20, 25 points, if we can keep them down in there, make it to where they can't just hit explosive bombs, I feel like we can win this game. Because one thing with Michigan we've been seeing a lot, they like to hit those home run shots. They like to hit the big runs, the big passes, whether it's a pass or run. They like the home run shots. What we've seen these past 2 weeks, whenever they played Maryland especially, they were trying to hit those shots, and even in the Penn State game, they were trying to hit those shots, but it wasn't working. What did they do in the second half of Penn State? They told J.J. McCarthy, you are done throwing the ball. He threw the ball one time in that whole entire second half, and it was a pass interference call. Other than that, he was just handoff, 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 and it worked. Something I like to see from Ohio State is, if we can eliminate the deep, big chunk plays, we should be good to go there. The next thing with the defense, like I just entailed, we need to stop the run. We've seen with J.J. McCarthy, like I just mentioned with the big plays, he wants to take the deep shot. If we can take away the deep shot, he's going to go to the run game. If we can stop the run game, then it forces J.J. McCarthy to be an excellent passer in this game. Do I still think he can do that? I think he can. I'm not going to be a biased Ohio State fan and be like, no, we're going to shut his ass down. I think J.J. McCarthy is still a really good quarterback. I think he can pick us apart if we don't cover their receivers well enough. But I think their run game is the strong point of their team. Donovan Edwards, Blake Corum, those boys are going to be wanting to run the ball. And if we can't clog up the run lanes, we're going to get pushed around. Coming in this year, we knew that we could not stop the run last year. We sucked at it. 2 years ago especially, we could not stop the run. Last year we got a little better, but we still were struggling with it. This year so far, we've been pretty good. We are currently 21st against the run in the entire nation. We're actually number 1 in pass defense, which is huge because we do have a great secondary. Denzel Burke, we got Ransom, Proctor, all those guys in the back end on the safeties. We have a really good secondary. Like I just mentioned with the run defense. That being 20th, it's good, but we're going to need them to show up. We're going to get into health in just a moment, but injuries have been kind of ridiculing this team for a couple weeks. But if everybody's fully healthy, that'll be a strong point, because we need everybody from Eichenberg to Steel Chambers to Hall to Williams to JTT to Jack Sawyer. We need everybody up there. They nickname themselves the Mud Dogs, and to Bobby Boucher from the Waterboy. We need the Mud Dogs to show up in this game. If they can show up and they can make the trenches dirty down there and they can control the line of scrimmage, this game will be over by the mid-third quarter. If we cannot control the line of scrimmage and Michigan is just shoving us around like they always do, I mean, I think they've won the award for best offensive lineman the past 2 years. I forget the name of the award, but they've won it 2 years in a row. That says something. And they're looking like they might go for a third year in a row. So if that Michigan offensive line comes to play, we're fucking screwed. Now, like I mentioned with Ohio State being the #1 pass defense, guess who's #2? Michigan. And it's not by a lot. Ohio State is averaging 144.4 passing yards a game. Michigan is giving up about 144.8. A 0.4 difference. Not a lot. We have allowed 7 passing touchdowns this year. They have allowed 5 passing touchdowns. We have allowed a 93.0 passer rating this year. They have allowed a 95.8 passer rating, the second lowest passer rating. So when it comes to the defense, I do think when it comes to Ohio State, like I said, you stop the run, you can control this game because your pass defense is already really good. Do I think Michigan has some receivers they can possibly use to exploit us? I think Rowan Wilson, I think is his name. He's a really good receiver. He broke out a couple receptions last year in the game. I think he took the one where it was like a 0 blitz. We went all out. He caught the ball. I think it was Denzel Burke that was on him. And then Denzel Burke just got spun up in the spin cycle, and Rowan Wilson just took off for the touchdown. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he's the only Michigan receiver that's really going to attack us whenever it comes to picking apart a secondary with J.J. McCarthy. If we can just take them out of the equation, stop the run, limit the big plays, we have a good shot on defense. The next thing, and this is more of a stupid thing that I just want to talk about, we cannot make dumb penalties. And what I mean by dumb penalties is if we come out on the opening drive and we're moving the ball down the field, we're just going on offense, we're making it work, we get down to like the 25-yard line, it's 1st and 10, false start. We get back up to 30. And then it's like we try to run the ball, we go nowhere. 2nd and 15, we try to throw the ball, now it's 3rd and 15. All because of a stupid penalty. And I know people are going to say, who cares about a penalty? Just get over it. Sometimes an offsides, a false start, a stupid holding call from an offensive lineman, those penalties ruin drives. Because it's like you have the momentum, everything is going your way, and the second you have that false start, or hold, or illegal shift, anything like that, a clipping call, it almost gives the defense a chance to breathe, regain themselves. They can put a new substitution out there. Say if you're going to a huddle, they weren't able to substitute anybody, it gives them a chance to breathe, resub, get fresh bodies on the field, get a new kind of defensive play call out there, and they can just reset. On the recollection of my memory, I don't really remember a lot of penalties being called the past few years. Was there some penalties in crucial moments for Ohio State? Yes. Was there some penalties being called for Michigan? Yes. But Ohio State, they just hurt themselves with stupid penalties. Penalties I can understand for allowing to be called is whenever, say you're a DB and you get beat badly, and the only way you're preventing a touchdown from happening is just jumping up and allowing the pass interference call to be happening. I understand that because, like, I'm not giving up a touchdown. Take the 15 yards, live to see another day. Other than that, any other penalty, we need to play a sound football game. Ohio State fans and even the players have been chirping all week long. If you want to go out here and beat Michigan and you want to beat them bad, the way you do it is no penalties, because no penalties equals you are doing everything correct and you are just beating them into the ground. Next point I want to talk about is offense. When it comes to especially the X factors. Coming to this game, I mean, I'm sure Michigan already knows this. The 2 players we need to be going through is Marvin Harrison Jr. and Trevor Henderson. Those are the 2 players we want to get moving. And I know Michigan's going to know that as well. So they're going to be trying to take them away. They're going to be double teaming Marvin Harrison Jr. And then they're probably going to be trying to load the box anytime they see, even if it's a play action. They're going to load the box against Trevor Henderson because they know he's shifty. There might be a lane there and you would think, oh, a linebacker can go down there and take him out. No. You might need to send 2 linebackers because he might be able to make that one guy miss and then take one to the house. They're going to be sending a lot of pressure in those gaps to take out Trevor Henderson's legs. If I had to take a guess of what kind of stat I need to see out of these guys, I need to see Henderson going at least 150 yards rushing, a touchdown or 2, and then Marvin Harrison Jr. needs to get at least like 100, 150 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns as well. If when the game ends and Henderson only has like 15 carries for like 50 yards and only a touchdown, and Henderson barely has like 4 catches for like 20 something 30 yards and no touchdowns, I'm automatically going to realize, yeah, that's why we lost. But if they go out there and put up good stats, we have a shot. Because if Harrison isn't involved in the game, Obviously, that means Harrison's getting double teamed. The box is being loaded against TreVeyon Henderson, Emeka Ibuka, Julian Fleming, Cardell Tate, Ennis, get him involved. Cade Stover, get some of the other guys involved. G. Scott, I realize he's a number 2 tight end. Get them involved. Like, this is supposed to be the best in America wide receiver core, the best receivers in the entire nation. Let's see it. Brian Hartline, this might be a legacy game for you. I've been hearing rumors about if he's going to possibly go try to become a head coach somewhere else in the offseason. He thought about it this past offseason. I don't think it's going to happen. I think he likes being on High State. But if the case were to happen to where he got an offer you cannot refuse, maybe money-wise, it was like, here's the money. It is so much money. Go take this head coaching job. This is your game to prove you can coach an offense right here. Because if these wide receivers go out there and cook up Michigan secondary, Brian Hartline, that's because of you. Let's see what you got. If guys like Emeka Ibuka, we've seen him cook in the Notre Dame game. If he goes out there and cooks, big time things will happen. We've seen Julian Fleming kind of being so slow the entire year. He gets like a catch here, maybe 4 catches here, then 10 catches here, then like 2 catches here. He's like so inconsistent. We need to see a big time game out of him maybe. And Cade Stover, I think we always get big games out of him. But if he's going to have a big game, this is the game he needs to have the game. We don't need no drop passes. We don't need those stupid fumbles. We need to see it now. 2 or 3 more things I need to discuss. One, I just kind of implemented it there a minute ago, but no stupid fumbles and no stupid interceptions by Kyle McCord. I'm going to get into Kyle McCord in a second. But Kyle McCord, no stupid interceptions, and any receiver, running back, when you get the ball, I swear to God, do not fumble the ball. Do not fumble the ball, especially in Michigan's territory. We already know Michigan likes to run the ball, and if you fumble the ball, it already puts your defense out there with this mindset of like, ah, shit, they have the ball here in our territory. Now they're just going to go out there and they're just going to hand the ball off once and go for the touchdown, and it's like a balloon. You just pop our whole vibe. Last 2 things I want to discuss. Ryan Day, I need you to call the greatest fucking game you have ever called in your life. There have been rumors. I don't know if they're true. They're probably not. But there have been rumors of if Ryan Day and the Ohio State football team loses to Michigan, there might be serious talks about if Ryan Day needs to go. I don't see it happening. I do not. But I'm just saying. The fact that that's being talked about should scare Ryan a little bit. He should be worried. He should be understanding that, like, there was the saying back in the day between, I forget if it was a Ohio State coach or a Michigan coach that said, it doesn't matter when you get to this game if you're 11-0 or 0-11, have a chance for a national championship or not. As long as you win this game and just be 1-11 and not one being against this team, you had a successful season. There is a reason why Ohio State players throughout this week have basically been asked and said, what would you rather have? Beat Michigan, win a Big Ten title, or win a national championship? And every single one of them says, I want to beat Michigan. And I'm pretty sure that goes for a lot of the guys that are like freshmen and sophomores right now, because their last year or last 2 years basically being here with Ohio State, they haven't been able to beat Michigan. And hell, that goes for even the seniors, because they didn't get to play Michigan in 2020. So 2020 was their freshman year, 2021 sophomore, 2022 junior, and now 2023 they're a senior. They haven't had a chance to beat Michigan. They want a chance to go beat Michigan. So Ryan Day, I realize you call the offensive plays. You need to call the game plan of your life. And then I swear to God, Ryan, do not do anything stupid like jet sweeps on 4th and 1. Run that shit straight up the middle. Do not do any fake punts unless it's like you can clearly see Michigan is backed up and they're not rushing anybody, and you can easily get the fake like a 4th and inches, 4th and 1 type punt play. If you can do that, okay. But I swear to God, if you don't get it, we're going to criticize you. And the last thing I want to discuss is Kyle McCord. I mentioned him already a couple times. Kyle McCord, you cannot fuck this game up. We have already said a couple times throughout this year. I've said it multiple times in my videos of all the game reactions. Kyle McCord is the key to this game. If he can go out there and manage this game, but still at least put a little bit of his own touch on the game, not a bad touch, but a good touch. And what I mean I don't need him to go out there and put up 500 passing yards, 6 touchdowns. I don't need that. What I need out of Kyle is if he can go out there and put up 350 passing yards, say 3 touchdowns, and go 28 of 40 passing. If he can do that, maybe a sack, no interceptions, I would be ecstatic with that performance. Because if he can do that, TreVeyon Henderson can also run in some touchdowns, and our defense can play really sound. Like I said, keep Michigan about 20 to 25 points. If we can do that, we can win this game. But to wrap it up, as always, like I said in the very beginning, I'm an Ohio State fan. To give you a score prediction, I'm going to say 31-27. Michigan has the ball at the end of the game. They have a chance to go down and score. They're going to get in our territory, but I think the defense can hold strong and step up and keep them from scoring. stop them on like a 4th and 5 from like the 32-yard line with like 30 seconds to go, and we'll end up wrapping up from there. If you want to call me delusional, that's fine, but that's my prediction. But other than that, that's all I got to discuss for today's video. Hopefully you guys did go on to enjoy. If you did, make sure you go ahead and drop a like. It's very much appreciated if you do so. If you wanted to watch the entirety of today's video and you had a different opinion on kind of whole game, how it's going to go, the Ohio State versus Michigan game, if you think a different outcome is going to go, if you're a Michigan fan, leave your opinion down in the comments. I have no problem debating with you all and talking with you assholes. If you're an Ohio State fan, as always, leave your opinion down there in the comment section down below what you think is going to happen with this game. If you think a different outcome is going to go, what you think Ohio State needs to do. If I said something that you think and I missed something, let me know in the comments. If you're a fan of the content that I do post here, I'm an Ohio State fan. I also post all sorts of sports content stuff whenever it comes to news and updates, or whether it be Ohio State, Cleveland sports related, or anything sports related. If you're a fan of that type of stuff and you want to go and hit that big red subscribe button, feel free to do so. And do not forget to hit that little notification bell to be notified the second I post. But without further ado, this has been Dylan Talk Sports. Have a great day. Peace.